In this video, I'm going to give you my top secrets to working step 12. Are you new in recovery and looking to understand the 12 steps, or are you a sponsor taking someone through the steps for the very first time? Doing step work is part of a balanced recovery program, or taking someone through the steps can be a daunting process, but it really doesn't need to be. I'm Tim Westbrook, and I'm the founder and CEO of Camelback Recovery here in the always sunny and always sober Scottsdale, Arizona. And I'm here to break it down for you so that you can get a jump start on your addiction recovery. These are my top 3 secrets to understanding step 12. So, what does step 12 say? Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and practice these principles in all our affairs. My secret for understanding step 12 is that it can be best summed up with a beautiful paradox. A paradox is an apparent condition, and the apparent condition here is that we keep what we have only by giving it away. 12-step programs work because there is an acknowledgement that once we are strong enough in our own recovery to give back, we do. And that we are all just one drink or one drug away from a relapse. So working with a person who is new in recovery reminds us that it wasn't so long ago that we were in the same place. There's another thing I want to bring up. There's 4 levels of learning. First level is you read it, you listen to it. Level 2, you write it down. Level 3, you speak it back. Level 4 is you teach it. So being a sponsor, taking someone through the steps, or being an example, showing someone the way, that's level 4 learning. If you really want to solidify your recovery, take someone through the steps. Be of service, help another person. That's the best way for you to really lock in your recovery. What does working a 12-step look like? Well, there are many ways, from being a sponsor to packing out the chairs before a meeting, welcoming the newcomer, sharing when you have something on your heart that you want to share, depending on the topic of the meeting. If you're keen to understand more about how you can help someone else that's new in recovery, check out my next video, How to Work a Step 12. This also speaks to, if you're asked to speak at a meeting, you always say yes. And even if it's your first time, even if you've never spoken at a meeting, I've got a sponsee right now. He's about to celebrate a year, and he was asked to speak at a meeting. And he's super nervous, and I talked with him about it. And really, he's just sharing his story. And remember, you're sharing your story to help you. You're going to solidify your own recovery by sharing your story. And if you help one person, then that's the name of the game. I also have another really good friend. He's been sober for about 100 days. He was asked to speak at a meeting too. And that was just a couple days ago. And he said, man, I don't really know what I have to share. I don't really have a lot yet. I've only been sober for 100 days. But guess what? He's 100 days. He's been sober longer than people that are still in rehab. And that's actually where he's going to go and share. It's an H&I commitment. So he gets to go share his story, and that's going to help. That's going to help someone that's just there for the first time and maybe only sober for 24 hours. My second secret for step 12 is about appreciating that addiction is a disease of forgetfulness. It's too easy to forget what rock bottom was like for us once upon a time. Being of service keeps us humble. Being of service keeps us clean. When you look at it this way, we can appreciate that the 12 steps are a circular process rather than just a movement from point A to point B. We're like Rocky Balboa, climbing those steps in his morning runs. And when we get to the top, we start all over again. This process is a solution to addiction that has been beneficial for the better part of a century now. Sure, there are other modalities of overcoming addiction out there, but the 12 steps are free, and they get richer as you experience each time you work them. But for now, if we have benefited from working the steps and engaging in an active recovery program, then now is the time to firm up our commitment to this program and carry the message to the still suffering addict or alcoholic. Which brings me to my next secret, and it's another great mantra that you might have heard in the rooms or from your sponsor, and that is, it's attraction rather than promotion. Attraction rather than promotion is a key principle in underpinning the step 12. It's important to think back to when you were new in recovery and some of the ideas you were skeptical of. Being in addiction is hard enough as it is without someone pushing all their notions of sobriety down your throat all at once. So when you work a step 12, you need to learn to play it cool in a way. Wait for the moment when the addict or alcoholic you're in contact with receives the gift of desperation. And what I mean by that is this: when the pain of using or staying the same is greater than the pain of change, then that's when the still suffering addict will realistically weigh up to a new option. And this is when, if you are in the addict's orbit, you can step up with a gentle display of the grace with which you now carry yourself. The still suffering addict should be able to see the vitality in your eyes and the surety in your words rather than just take your word for it. And that's attraction rather than promotion. They want to have what you have. I'd like to add a last thought on understanding a spiritual awakening, as mentioned in this step. Before we go on to my next video and explore ways to work a step 12, not all of us will have some profound aha moment where the heavens open up and we experience a spiritual awakening. Still, if we cast our minds back to the beginning of our journey into recovery and look inwards at the personal growth we've undergone since then, we can surely appreciate that we are now very much spiritually alive. We can better understand the idea of a spiritual awakening by thinking about how dead we were to the world during active addiction. Time has passed, and addiction doesn't hold such a grip over us as it used to. We are no longer enslaved to use when times are tough. Part of our spiritual awakening is a lifting of the feelings of craving that used to occupy our every waking moment, the getting and using of drugs. We are free, unburdened by the past, undaunted by the future, and doing our best to remain conscious in the present. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm Tim Westbrook, and I hope that our paths cross again in my next video.
If you found this video to be of value, be sure to like it, subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos, leave a comment if you have a question, if you've got something to say. Camelback Recovery provides treatment services for people struggling with mental health, mental illness, addiction, alcoholism. So if you or someone you know is struggling, be sure to reach out to us. You can go to our website, camelbackrecovery.com, or our information is in the comment section below. And we provide everything from detox, inpatient, outpatient treatment, sober living, recovery coaching, sober companion services. So either we'll be able to help you or we'll be able to refer you to people or treatment centers that might be a better fit. So I will see you in the next video.